finally reached the last round of the battles. Let's get into it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
AfterBuzz. We got it right this time. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Voice. Tonight we're getting into season 16, episodes 10 and 11. So we have quite a few to get through, but we have made it to the end of the battle rounds. So I'm your host, Princess, and I'm here with three lovely ladies. We have Miss Lindsay Hoffman.
Hi, everyone.
We have Miss Neema Skye.
Hello.
And Miss Tyra Prude.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. I think of that every time.
I know. It's just like,
I get it all the time. Thanks.
Tyra. But yeah, guys, so tonight is the last round of the battles. We also have a coach that saved his steal into the last spot. I was so proud of Blake.
Yes.
I'm so happy
Great
for him.
steal.
Great steal at the end. But we also have news and gossip predictions and our special segment, Where Are They Now? Yes. All right, guys. So what were your overall thoughts about these two episodes?
My overall thoughts were that it was kind of like a mix in between the two. The first part was kind of like, oh, I have my favorites, and the other part was kind of like, I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like, I had a lot of mixed feelings throughout this.
I feel like
battle
they
round.
rushed the editing of it. The first episode of it, they cut through some of the performances where I was thinking, wait, why is it
Yeah.
starting? And then I think they were trying to fit it into 2 episodes and make it work a certain way. And I think that translated to even though the performances I think were really amazing and they were artists that I had forgotten about from the beginning that I loved, it didn't showcase them as well as they could just based off of the editing.
Yeah, I mean, the editing was just, I think that it was even like one part, instead of them like kind of actually introducing them, they just kind of went straight into the
you're like,
round.
what?
Yeah, it was
And
like they were
what
halfway,
happened?
like they were already into the song. I was like, did we miss something? Maybe Hulu skipped a
And then
section.
and then when I do that, I think, do the producers not want us to like that person as much? Are they trying to tell a story that they want us to see?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, also too, we also have to keep in mind that they have a lot of people, in like the battle round, so they have to make sure that
true.
When
They
it comes
want
to
the
TV
show
wise,
through it.
The exciting
Yeah,
ones
it's
as well.
It's all about just how many we can get in at a certain amount of time. Maybe they only have a number of episodes they have to get through. So if they have to cut things quickly to fit it all into how many episodes they ordered, then that's what they have to do.
That's
right?
fair.
But I thought it was a good. I thought the 2 episodes were great. Also, I don't know. Well, maybe just for me personally on my team, I thought we could have had some better acts. But it was cool overall. It was cool. I'm excited for maybe just because we've been through the battles already, so now I'm just ready for that
You would
next
think
thing.
they would have
Yeah.
left like really good for the last part. And
That's
then
what
know,
I'm
me
saying.
too.
Okay,
I feel like
so
it
it
was
wasn't
kind
just
of-
me. I just kind of
Yeah.
felt
I
like
feel like the energy was actually like kind of down a little bit. I mean, with like
Right.
some artists, the energy was up, but then other artists, I kind of felt
Yeah.
like it was just dragging just a little bit.
yeah.
it just depended.
And
So
they
yeah.
were some of the strongest people in the blinds, but for
Right.
some reason, maybe it was their nerves or the editing or I
it
don't
was
know
their
what.
nerves, or
song
maybe
choices
those
too.
previous battles before. Remember how they kept putting like strong people together?
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
that
And then
was
they kind of
why.
put,
Yeah.
it's like a process of elimination was kind of easy.
Yeah. So like, okay, so I'm happy I wasn't the only one feeling like that.
No.
I'm like, okay,
Not
you
at
guys
all.
are like, oh, it was just the editing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It
I
could've
don't
been.
know.
I
I
don't
was
know.
really into
I
it.
kind of feel like it was really like the energy.
Yeah,
It was
it was
really
just
good.
time for that next thing.
Maybe the audience
Right.
feels that way too. You guys comment below if you were thinking the same thing, if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it ended with a bang with Blake, and I was very happy about
That's
that.
because your team
Okay,
Blake.
Team
Yes.
Blake.
But
Yes,
Team
yes.
Legend did get some stills.
He
Team
likes to
Legend,
do
yes.
the
That's
dramatic
They got
fair.
Jimmy.
That's fair.
Jimmy the cutie.
That's
He's so
fair.
cute.
Well, let's go ahead and just get into the teams. So we're starting with Team Adam, which, by the way, I really enjoy the diversity on his team, I must
Yeah,
say.
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
I mean, Adam is it. He knows what to do.
Yes. Fair enough.
But okay, yeah, so let's just go ahead and get into Adam, Team Adam. We started off with Mari and Anthony. I want to say this was between the two what am I trying to say? Performances. Thank you. I think theirs was the best. They sang I Like Me Better When I'm With You by Law, and let me just say, Mari completely just like stole the show.
She did.
I love her
Did.
energy.
Yeah, her energy was
She
everything.
was so good. She looked so cute. I love the sparkly,
I love her, how she
pink,
dresses.
whatever
Right.
jumpsuit she had on, and she really owned the stage and she really shined. Whereas Anthony, he did well, but you can tell he was kind of nervous, and I really hated that because we can hear his voice. We know he has the ability, but he was it was one of those things where he just had to like find himself, and I think he kind of struggled with finding where he
He's
stood
not as
within
strong,
the song.
but he reminds me a lot of Charlie. He kind of looks like him. They both have the star on their eye.
Like
I love that.
said. I mean, like Charlie actually said, when I look at you, like you remind me of an 18-year-old version of me.
Yeah, and they bonded on that.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they bonded.
And he talked about him being very, very breathy, and like, you know, the fact. And he said, listen, those of us who are breathy, whenever it comes to the actual, you know, performing, sometimes we may get nervous. And he was very nervous that like that may be something that actually kind of like eliminated him.
And he knew it. You can tell and see it in his eyes. Like at the end when they, you know, well, he clearly didn't win. It was Mari that won. But you just saw it. Like he kind of just felt defeated. Like, man, I know I could have done better. So it was a really unfortunate round for him, but overall I thought it was a great performance. I thought they really flowed well and meshed well, but Mari just stole the stage. Like she just had that presence.
I felt like she was one to watch from the beginning, and I loved how originally she dressed like Velma from Scooby-Doo.
The first time.
I just remember she branded herself from the start, and now she's wearing different clothes, but I'm like, oh yeah, she's the one who's like Velma. She's got that strong style, and I'm excited to see her style evolve throughout the competition.
Exactly.
Because they get the wardrobe stylist coming up.
And we talk about that all the time. We talk about like personality, what America might be looking for, and that quirkiness. I think she has that quirky, cute vibe, and that's gonna enhance or make her even more of a greater contestant because she has the voice and she can be relatable to that kind of audience, if that makes sense.
I love it. I mean, I kind of felt bad for Anthony because to your point, I think that he sensed that, especially when she started doing the runs.
Oh, when she started doing that,
he looked like he was going to cry.
But I felt like me rose up to the occasion, and he didn't get a chance to, you know. And I kind of felt bad that because I think during the rehearsals he seemed to be doing well, and then the performance it was just like.
It was even in the rehearsals he was kind of like, I felt like even in the rehearsals he was like, man, this girl is good. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to, you know, be
I think we're gonna see him again. He has some sort of stage presence and star power, so I think he's going to be some sort of the up and coming Charlie Puth that we're going to be seeing.
Yeah,
he'll probably be on the
Charlie
list
may
again.
put him to the side and be like, yeah, man, bring
matching
him
eyebrows.
Yeah, you never know. He may bring him into the studio. Prediction.
And we also had Jimmy Mowry and Calvin Jarvis. They sang "You Got It Bad" by Usher when they were practicing. I was like, oh my god, okay. You know, I love a little soul R&B little twist to it. But I thought it was a great performance. No, I take that back. That was like kind of like my least favorite. I thought it was kind of, you know,
interesting.
I
feel like Calvin was leading him on. Like he was carrying the performance.
I felt that way
and I think
too.
it's just because he had that kind of soul. I mean, come on now, it's Usher. He got a little bit of, you know.
But Jimmy, okay, but wait, let's just talk about Jimmy. Jimmy definitely held it down. Like vocally, I feel like honestly, vocally, he kind of overpowered Calvin, but I just felt like Calvin just had the swag. I mean, first of all, it's Usher, so any Usher song that you sing, you have to come with swag.
True, he did.
And not that Jimmy didn't have swag. I just think that
Jimmy's got a different personality.
He has a different type of personality.
And I think Calvin kind of just fit that genre. So
I was wondering.
I think Adam was on his side.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
That's what my question was. Do you think Adam did that because he was rooting for Calvin more? Because the song was clearly a song
catered to him.
Yeah, for Calvin. And obviously for Jimmy, maybe he was thinking, if Jimmy can beat him on this, he's really going to sell me to win it over. Maybe that's what he's thinking. But sometimes I feel like the judges pick song because they like someone else better.
That's a good point.
They want to see them win.
But it was a steal for us.
I mean, I think Calvin definitely carried it, but I think that Jimmy held his own.
He
did. I had a lot of respect for him. He brought his own to it, and he did in his own way.
Absolutely. Yeah. His runs were amazing, you know, as well.
Yeah, so I'm glad that he was stolen because I think if he had gone home, like there was someone else that went home, and I was really upset about it.
I definitely think I'm happy that he is still here, but just going based off of this performance, Calvin definitely carried it, and you know,
because he had swag.
He had that. He just had that. You know, that genre fit him, and he did it.
Yes, I have to say, I agree.
Is that was
it for me.
Oh we're done. We are at the end. I keep forgetting there's not like 7 people anymore. All right, well let's move on to Team Legend. John Legend.
Did we say Team Legend?
Yeah,
Team Legend.
I walked into that one.
Team Legend held it down. Two great performances. actually one of my favorite performances between the two had to be Jacob and Talon, just because, first of all, I love the storyline behind these two. They're both of their fathers are cops, and they're both servers, so they had a connection. I feel like from the start, there was so much energy and drive that I felt like that came from this performance. Talon is so cute to me. I feel like he has this very like soulful yet angelic voice. I think that he did a great job. However, I think Jacob just came off really, really smooth. And of course, they definitely connected very, very well. The energy was there. But again, I think Adam spoke about Jacob as well, and like how his energy was there too. Kelly said the same thing, as well as Blake. And of course, John chose Jacob over Talon. Again, like I said, I think Talon was great, but Jacob he gave like that extra star power. And again, John is always talking about, I'm looking for someone who's a star. Like, yeah, you have a great voice, but like, what is your stage presence? Like, how do you actually move the crowd? Like, how are you actually like using your vocals to allow us to feel the song? And I think that this is what Jacob brought. Not to mention going back to Betsy and Lisa, I think they did a very, very great job. They chose a song by Brandi Carlile. But what I love here is that these are, both mothers. Of course, Betsy talked about how her son was her inspiration. And I think that she did a great job. However, I feel like Lisa just kind of took it to a different level. For me, of course, she started off very, very strong, but there were some very connecting moments at the very end of her performance where she just took that range. And I noticed that, like, the singers that actually, like, take the range to a completely different level, those are the ones I feel like that all of the judges choose. And I think that's definitely something that brought Lisa home, and that's the reason why that's the reason why John chose Lisa. However, Kelly just stole Betsy. Which,
my team.
Yes.
Which
I was
I'm
like,
going to
yes.
get into that.
But again, I think that it was a great addition to her team because, again,
I
Team
like
Legend,
her.
we are going to hold it down. And of course, we did have another performance in the next episode, but I'm going to wait to the next episode to talk about that.
I wanted to chime in because I do want to obviously talk about Betsy and Lisa, obviously,
Yes.
of course, because she comes to my team as well, Team Kelly. But what I wanted to ask you guys is when Adam said that Jacob looked like how do you say her last name?
Cara Delevingne.
Cara
DeVille.
DeVille.
Is it Cara DeVille?
That's the
Okay.
one Dalmatians.
Sorry, if that's your name.
DeVinge and Jake.
we're
Cara
apologizing.
DeVinge, I think, and Jake Gyllenhaal. And what's really funny is I think he looks a little more like Cara DeVinge than Jake Gyllenhaal, but he is a match of it. I thought it was hilarious that he said that. What do you guys think? Because he's like, Jacob was like, yeah, I get that all the time. Like, both of them.
I feel like that was just a great way for Adam to be able to connect with him.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is when they are picking singers, they are looking for a specific, unique look. And it is really trendy when you can look non-gender specified. The fact
Androgynous.
that, and he has obviously that look. If you were to put the makeup on him like Cara DeVinge, he looks like that. And I think that makes you
Even his sound.
stand out more. Yeah, and his sound. He has something unique about him. I think that what makes him stand out. But I really like Talon. I was sad to see him go. I like them together.
Again, like, it's all about the energy. And Jacob was so
He had more.
smooth.
I want them in a boy band together,
I
though.
love his smoothness.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
what I love about
imagining
Jacob.
them as One Direction together. They were like bouncing around the stage. I was like, I love you guys.
Princess is like, what
They were
the
connected.
They were like a One Direction in my mind.
I think Talon could be more One Direction. I think he had more
but Jacob's like
energy.
Harry Styles with the long hair.
He is.
Yeah.
But I think, personally, I wasn't a big fan of Talon in the qualifiers. Like, to me, or in the auditions, like, to me, he lacked control, and that was ultimately his
His
demise
voice
tonight.
did crack, and
Yeah,
it didn't.
his
Right.
voice
And
did
it
crack.
kinda
But
went
he
all over
went
the
through.
place.
I
And
feel
Adam
like he
was
went
like,
through
"Oh,
it.
that's okay, because
'Cause
my
you're
voice
18.
cracks too, and I'm 40." That's
Well,
literally
he
what
was
he
saying
said.
Not just
Yeah.
it cracking,
Yeah.
but like it kind of went all over the place, and that to me was like a sign of immaturity as a singer. Not that age has nothing to do with it, but I don't know. I
Maybe
kinda
his
saw
voice
that.
isn't fully
Yeah.
developed. You saw that a little bit
Right.
where
Yeah, that's
Jacob
true.
had a more.
Mature.
I don't know.
Jacob was
Yeah.
ready. Like, again,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Team Legend is about star quality, like star power. He wants you to get up there and just kill it.
Yeah, well, you have to if you want to make it in this industry. I mean, how many people really do get to Kelly Clarkson status from a show like this these days? Or
True.
even back in the day. It's even harder. It's more saturated than ever to succeed anywhere because of YouTube and all these shows. And
so many different
Yeah.
ways to put yourself out
Yeah.
there. Oh, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
But
that goes
we
for
saved
movies,
that one.
film, all
You know,
that.
I
that
actually
one.
did say that Jacob kind of reminds me of Hanson. You remember you guys remember
Yeah,
that stuff?
he's like one of those
He
guys
reminds me of
that
the
bring him
handsome
back,
boys,
like a
like,
Hanson
literally.
or like a Harry
Yeah.
Styles.
Yes,
like
for sure.
blend them
Or
together and
David
create a
Cassidy to
Yeah.
me too.
David Cassidy?
I'm just taking it all
Also-
the way back.
Uh-oh, listen.
I
We're
wanna-
not telling our age here.
Is it okay to jump in on the Betsy and Lisa? Because I was
Yeah.
thinking, real quick, one thing that I noticed, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when they called them on stage, they said, Betsy, the 40-year-old. And then I feel like to be nice, they said Lisa, the 33-year-old. And I was thinking, okay, they do say their age, but it just seemed deliberate that that's how they want you to remember her, as the 40-year-old single mom. And
Well,
I was
I don't
wondering,
think that that's necessarily a bad thing because again, you know, you have to keep in mind who's actually looking, right? There's a lot of women out there who may be her age, who may have her same situation, and so they want to capitalize on the whole inspiration part.
Yeah,
And I think it just
He's able to
depends
get out
on
there.
getting that attention from whatever
Absolutely.
audience it is too.
Right.
I take it motivational too, but sometimes I watch it and I wonder, does it bother them that they're being labeled by their age and maybe they don't want to? I see it watching being like, it's never too late to go for your dreams and you could still make it.
But see,
But
but again, too, also, and I want to say this in terms of like pairing, even if you look at Betsy and Lisa, Lisa's also, this is her second time coming onto the show.
That's true.
So I think that there was something like very magnetic and very, very connecting about both of these, you know, ladies because they both had some things that like, that society may say is, you know, against them, but it actually worked for them. So, you know, I think that this show is not just also about the artists in terms of like how good they are. I also think that it's also about the inspiration piece because I hear Kelly always talk about, oh, you know, even though this person is like a great singer, I just love their personality
that's
or like
true.
their energy,
And that's
you know,
what
or like their
people will
light.
pick you when
Yeah.
they're buying a CD.
And Lisa,
And-
she killed it.
Yeah.
She kills it.
She
She's
did.
like, listen,
I think
this
Betsy,
is my second chance.
again,
and it's gonna happen.
my team Kelly stole Betsy, and I liked her. I actually was glad my team took her because she had a lot of emotion. I feel when you sing, you can feel that she had been through something and was laying it on the table, and that's what I look for when I hear a song. I mean, they both were amazing.
Absolutely.
How do
Yeah,
you
let's
pick?
go ahead and get into Team Kelly too. So
Yes,
we're already
talking
like
about Team Kelly.
Well, we already talked about
Conjuring
Kelly.
Team Kelly up.
So I wanted
Kelly.
to start with the last performance of theirs, David Owens and Rebecca, because they did Unchained Melody, and that song is just one of my favorite songs.
Me too.
And what I think was really interesting about this is Rebecca's more country, and the song took away country from her. So to see her perform something that wasn't what she does, and to see she could do that and do it successfully, I thought was really good. And just listening to it, I wanted to download this version of the song. You listen to it, and
was really good.
David, you know he was singing to his wife, and you just felt it. And I just thought this performance was a very memorable one that I'm going to, if they show a recap of this season in the future, they're going to show
That
this performance.
She's gonna think about
really
ghosts.
good.
Yeah.
Just
And
checking.
I agree. I agree also with picking Rebecca. I think
Yeah.
that for some reason something kept drawing me to her. And David definitely had the range, and he was really good. And I was sad that no one stole him. But again, he's maybe similar to other people that other people have. And I don't know. There was something about Rebecca that shined through when she was really trying and was there to win.
Yeah, and
I think she's
it just
seasoned.
shows that she's diverse. Like
Yeah.
people like people that they can work with, where I can give you this pop song or this country song and you can kill it all. So
Absolutely.
I think that if anything, that's what won me over. Just seeing how she was able to flip the switch and execute another genre that she's not necessarily, good at.
I mean, Kelly said that, Rebecca, it doesn't matter what I give you, you always bring it.
Yeah,
And again, like
exactly.
she had, I mean, first of all, from my understanding, like her genre is more country. And when I tell you, like, she took this song and it's just like, I could feel every bit of emotion, every passion, like everything that she was saying, I literally felt it. And I think that, again, when it goes down to like trying to take someone and making them a star, that's what the show is really about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
yeah.
That's why it
Hands
stood
down.
out to me. And honestly, the performance between Jackson and Abby was amazing, but I
Yes.
feel like the Unchained Melody one just stole it for me. Like, it's all I really think about from the show. But I liked seeing Kelly's two country people. It was fun to see Kelly working. Obviously, she has some other country people like Rebecca on the team, but it's fun to see her branching out and branching into a country is becoming, really big now. So it's cool to see how much that has evolved.
That's cool. And I'm happy to see. I just wanted to note too that David did go to the comeback stage. So we could
he
see
did.
him again.
He did.
Yeah,
So,
we don't want to. I didn't want to see him leave, so he was, I believe, the last person on the comeback stage as well.
He completed their selection. So yeah, we might see him again.
Yeah, and for Jackson versus Abby, I agree. I think I agree with her picking Abby. I can see why, because her voice is different than other things. You want to stand out. And, she really reminded me. I want to know what you guys think. I don't know. Have you guys watched the show Nashville? She reminded me of Hayden Panettiere on Nashville.
Part of it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
When she was performing, I felt like I was watching Nashville. So she had that vibe. And
Fun fact,
yeah.
She did
I
for
didn't
sure.
watch Nashville, but I did like extra stuff for that, like just in the background walking and stuff.
So you were a part of
That's like
it.
my internship that I did a while back. Just had to throw that out there.
Nashville. Let's go ahead and get into Team Blake, my team.
Blake.
He only had one this episode, so he had Hannah versus Andrew, and I would love to get you guys' thoughts on it. I actually agreed with his decision, but I just would love to hear you guys' thoughts.
I
really
think
quickly.
Hannah was better. First of all, I love that song Tequila. It's one of my favorite songs. It's like a country pop, and I like
It's a
that. Like
great
a country
song.
techno pop or EDM, or it's so good.
Yeah.
And I think Hannah did really well with that. Her voice just, I think, stood out more than Andrew. I think Andrew was good, but I don't know. I liked listening to Hannah better.
I kind of disagree. I mean, from the moment that Andrew opened up his mouth, it was so much power. It was so much connection. It was so much just. It's like I felt every part of it. And then again, like even when he was in the room with Brooks and Dunn's, like there was they kept giving him, hey, you have a lot of power, so you have to figure out if you're gonna be this guy, you always have to bring it that way. And I think that once he got on that stage, he found that. And I mean, even I think that's the reason why Blake actually chose Andrew is because he overpowered
I
it.
just felt like it was overpowering a little bit for the song. Not that it was bad. I think he's great, but
I like to be overpowered.
Tyra, did you have any thoughts before we move on?
I agree. I think I agree with everything Neema said. Strong, powerful, and
Team Andrew, and we have one Team Hannah, which is cool. There's diversity here. I love that. But we also have a special message. So, Miss Neema, do you want to bring us that message?
The message is we want to thank all of you guys for allowing us to be the ESPN of TV talk. We cannot do this without you guys. And you know what? Right now, this very moment, we need your help. If you are on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up. Or if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. And not only that, please comment, because your comments is what keeps us engaged. It's what allows us to do what we're doing here. Listen, myself, Lindsay, Princess, and Tyra, we would not be here at the AfterBuzz TV station if you guys were not supporting us. So we thank you for everything that you do every week. And we just want you guys to continue to keep doing it and share the word with your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your friends, everybody in the family. Let them know.
subscribe to our show.
Every Tuesday.
yes.
Watch The Voice with us.
Thank you, Miss Neema. But let's go ahead and get into the second episode. It's the last round of the battles officially.
Yes.
And we don't have that many performances. The most of the night was actually Blake, ironically. But I did want to talk about Team Adam, because we had a great performance.
We did have a great performance.
Free
Okay,
falling.
so this was probably, I'm going to be biased. This is my favorite performance of the night.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
So we had Patrick and Andrew, and they sung Free Falling.
Oh.
Let me just say, it was just so beautiful, such a just angelic, just, I don't know. It just really just made me feel very soothing.
I agree.
Yes.
I love that song.
It was so beautiful. They sounded really good. This was the first performance, I think, of the night where I felt like they just comparing to tonight's episode and last night, where I felt like they just meshed and just kind of flowed together. We've been talking about how, like, some people are maybe overpowering each other, or some people are, I don't know, upping the other person. But this one, it was so close that they just both just equally blended really well.
Yeah.
But Patrick did end up killing it with that last note he did at the end. I don't know what it was.
All the notes he did throughout the entire song. I was like,
all the notes, but it was just this one he did towards the end that was like, this is how I have to steal it. Like, I love you, Andrew, but listen, I gotta take this home. And that's what he didn't do that. He didn't do that. That was surprising.
Yeah.
I thought Patrick was gonna take it home, but Andrew did.
I
How did
agree.
you guys feel about that?
I agree.
ooh. Okay, no, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first because I have a lot to say.
Because I feel like Patrick has sung a lot behind the scenes as a backup person. So while he is technically amazing and did really good, I still feel like he fell kind of to the background.
Me too.
And I feel that Andrew had a fuller voice with it. And I didn't know Andrew was the one singing high pitched. I had no idea that was him.
Me either.
And I
And
think
that's
it
what
was
I
that
think-
range that
Yeah.
stole the show.
That
to
I was
show that he has more
literally
to
gonna
offer.
say that right when you finished. I think that was the only thing that stole it. It was just
When
like I
Andrew
can
hit
work
that
with
note.
him. Yeah, I can work with him because he has amazing range. Whereas Andrew,
You didn't know who was singing.
Patrick.
you don't
You didn't know who was
necessarily. I mean, he's good, but I want somebody that I can play around with, and you know.
I think that the reason why Adam did not choose Patrick is because Patrick is too seasoned. He's been doing this for 30
was
years.
older.
And again, you know, skill is amazing, talent is amazing, but in order to take someone and really gel them and like really make them what they are, I think that that's what all of the judges are looking for. And I think that's the reason why Adam did not choose him, is because he just felt like, listen, man, this is a great competition, but maybe this is not your competition because you're already at a level that like most of the singers here now are still trying to develop. I mean, you have 16-year-olds who are singing like they've been doing this for, you know, all of their life. So it's like when you come with that much potential, I mean,
I
how
can't
much
do
more
anything
can you
but
be able to
keep
work
you.
with it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So-
That makes
And I
sense.
know that, you know, it's kind of sad to say things like that because Patrick's going for his dream, you know,
Yeah.
and you're working
and
and
he's
you're never
gonna get his
giving up.
dream.
Yeah,
right.
And I
he's
think that's the
gonna
reason
be
why Adam
fine.
said that. I mean, I think Adam was saying, hey, man, you're so good to the point where it's like we don't even know where to place you.
True.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true. You don't need to be on a
That's a
competition.
compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since we don't have any performances from Kelly, I did want to get into John because we're running low on time. So let's go
I
ahead
have
and
been waiting for the moment to talk about this
A moment
amazing
like this, Kelly.
performance.
I can't
This
even
was
lie.
my
That
favorite.
was good. It
This
was a
good.
great
It was
performance.
good.
This was
my
so good.
location. Oh my gosh. First of all, these two amazing women. They had so much range, like so much tone, so much
Energy.
so much power, and like they both gave it their all. Number one, Olive, she's amazing. I love how she put a very, very jazzy feel into the song. Of course, it's location, but she really made it her own. She put so much style and so much pizzazz in it. And what's her? I think it's Caitlin. Caitlin did the exact same thing, but again, she gave me all Ariana Grande vibes.
I was thinking the same
I mean, from
thing.
like beginning to end, like her voice was just so big, and she's like, you know, this very, very small girl. And she's only 16 years old, and I was just thinking to myself, like, she's already showing so much stage presence to the point where I don't know if you guys realize, but whenever they were both done, there were like fans behind her screaming, and so she turned around, she's like, "Oh, thank you very much."
Yeah,
I
she's
was
like, thank you.
she already knows. She's like,
I'm a pop star.
exactly.
She
Like, she
moved on
already
Ariana Grande.
knows it. I mean, the fact that confidence to me is what actually like pushed me over with her.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, it is about talent, you know, it is about skill, but it's also about how are you able to capture the audience and like being able to have that great confidence. Not to mention, of course, we know that John chooses Caitlin, but then Blake chooses Olive, which I think is
so
amazing.
happy.
So smart.
I think that's so amazing.
I was so
I mean,
happy because Olive is like, I agree with you. Caitlin stole that show.
Oh my
She
God.
she
She
stole
did
it.
it. She has a presence.
Yes.
I don't know if I would compare her to Ariana Grande.
She reminded me of her.
Maybe
I
her
think
like
her presence.
demeanor,
Maybe the way she did her hair, how she had it
maybe,
back.
but I feel
Even
like
her voice, really?
her voice.
I
I
loved
think
her
it's kind of
outfit.
stronger. I think she has more power. Ariana Grande is an amazing singer. Don't get me wrong, I love her, but she has that like Mariah Carey, you know,
The
like
pitch, yeah.
Whereas hers, I think she can give us power.
More like
and-
Christina, huh?
I was
Yeah,
True.
Christina.
I
Christina,
in my
for
mind,
sure.
yeah, she
I
has
think-
that
Absolutely.
strong, but she can bring it back and
Yeah.
have that angelic
And
voice.
she's only
also.
16. Let's talk
Yeah.
about 16 years old with that much power in her. I can't imagine like when she gets 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, let alone
Hers-
20.
And I think
Yeah.
where the Ariana Grande thing is coming is first off the way she had her hair done,
Yeah.
her outfit, and the way she moved around the stage
Oh my
is
God.
Ariana
Yeah.
Grande movements. Like she was bouncing and moving
Yeah.
and confident.
Yeah.
And one thing that I will say that I loved about them is that they connected so well. And it's like, they both have very, very strong voices, and they didn't overpower each other.
Yeah.
And even in the end, I remember Olive grabbing Caitlin's hand because like they both genuinely wanted each other to win. And I think like for me, like that's what started. What do you guys think?
I thought that was beautiful. Like I love just seeing that teamwork. Like it's a competition, but I need you just as much as you need me to get through this performance. So we have to come together at some point. And I think it just kind of fell to the point where like Caitlin is kind of that more like poppy or whatever, and Olive is that. I love me some Erykah Badu.
She gives me like a neo soul R&B with a little bit of jazz.
Yes, but she also proved that she can switch over
Absolutely.
too.
That's really helpful to have. I mean, thankfully we're on Blake. She's on Team Blake now.
Yes.
And I think it was really smart for him to add someone with such a unique voice. So I'm excited to see how he coaches her moving forward. So I guess that takes us into the next episode to see how we get into this next phase. I wanted to go ahead and kind of get into news and gossip because you're going to explain that next phase to us.
News and gossip.
So,
So today's news, we're talking all about the cross battles. It's the new thing we're going to be seeing in the next episode, and it hasn't been done here before. So what's going to be happening is the judges are going to pick one person from each team, and they're going to battle against each other. And the craziest thing is, they're not going to know who they're battling against until they hit the stage. And then the audience gets to vote. So you get to vote online or through the app on who is going to win. And that's going to be on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, Carson is going to say who the winner of it is. And they're also going to be changing the set design. So everyone's going to be sitting on stage, lit up, watching it. Kind of
this is gonna be
They've
fun.
done this in the past.
I like that.
I'm
So
excited.
the other contestants will sit there and get to go back to the seat. So I want to know what you guys think of it. And you know what's also interesting is this is the first time in America that they're doing this, but they actually do the cross battles in The Voice in Holland and in different countries. So this is the first time
they're bringing it to America.
So if you want to see like a little like pro tip for you guys, if you want to see how to watch this show and how it's going to be, you can Google probably on YouTube and see how it's been. But what do you guys think about these new cross battle rounds?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that's good.
That gives it such a thrill. Like, I don't know who I'm gonna end up like going up and competing against, and I think it's gonna either make or break a performance. That's gonna show how much confidence they can have, or just how they're gonna perform and execute their performance overall.
Yeah,
I think it's better like when you don't know who you're going against, so that even gives you even more fuel and more fire.
And how is this going to go,
fun.
though? Do they have to harmonize? Because I haven't looked up. I'm watching along with the viewers. I want to be surprised. Are they going to have to harmonize right on the bat, or is it two different songs? How do you?
Well, you know what? I do remember because I was watching a little bit of the preview. They did say that they don't even know what song they're going to be singing.
They don't even know the song. I didn't even see that part. So
I'm excited to see how that plays out because they gotta know the lyrics.
Maybe it's a test to just like to see if they can take it to the next level. Can they hop in? Like maybe they'll give one person a verse and the other, and then it's just like boom, you start off. Now y'all got to figure out how y'all gonna do it all together. I don't know, because sometimes
like a duet.
as a singer you kind of get put on the spot sometimes.
Sometimes you have a surprise
you gotta just come with
performance,
it.
or you're on Jimmy Kimmel, and all of a sudden he wants to do Jimmy Kimmel, that thing on Jimmy Kimmel where they like sing like, different types of songs. So
it's definitely gonna show your potential, just as not just vocally, but how do you handle things under pressure, being put on the spot. I love it. Ooh, I'm so excited.
I'm so
excited. I'm really excited. But next up on our list, we also have our special segment, and I really wanted to hear about this woman.
Oh yes, the special segment. Where are they now? Yes. So I got a chance to look up Cheryl. She is the winner of The Voice season 15, the very, very young girl. She was the blazing country singer. She won, and she's doing some amazing things. Let's talk about right now. She has a show that she's going to be doing in Kentucky on June 21st at the Paramount Arts Center in Ashland, Kentucky. And not to mention, she was just on the red carpet with Kelly Clarkson. She was at the ACMA Awards, and she performed for the first time in her hometown on January the 27th. So she's doing amazing things. She has an album coming out. She's done great. And it's only been 1 year. Can you imagine it? Like 1 year after being on The Voice, and she is literally blazing the charts. She has her first concert in her hometown, and she's just killing the game.
I bet she's going to do a surprise performance on this season.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I would definitely like to see her perform. And then again, she's so young. Like, can you imagine? So
We'll have to have her on the show.
Life after The
I saw
Voice
she was
stardom.
on season 15. They had her as an interview, so we're gonna have to get her on to give her commentary.
You don't know. You
got a few weeks
have
left.
to stay
Comment
tuned.
below if you guys want us to get her on the show.
Yes, let us know how you guys feel.
Yeah, I love seeing how everyone progresses after leaving the show. Like,
Yeah.
even if you get knocked out this first round, you can only go
You
up
never
from
know
here.
what
You never
happens.
know.
Like back in the American Idol days, like OG American Idol, Jennifer Hudson was third runner-up, and she went home, went back to regular job, disappeared, and all of a sudden she was in Dreamgirls. And
Yes.
I know it's a different show, but you just don't know what's going to happen with
I
these
feel like
shows.
it's always like the exposure. I mean, again, anybody who's ever on the show, I don't ever feel like it's ever a loss for them because I feel like you still get that exposure.
still
So people
growing.
are still able to recognize who you are, and again, from there, it's just fuel. Like, what are you gonna do? With this opportunity that you've been given. So,
Yeah, I think about Tori Kelly because she didn't make it far on American Idol at
I
all.
love
oh my God,
her.
Tori Kelly,
Oh,
I love
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
And first of all, let's talk about she was Grammy nominated and she won one of the best gospel albums of the year.
And we
Gospel
talked
album is
about
amazing.
Yeah.
and
Oh, I
we
love that
talked
album.
about BB Rexa, who again in a
Yes.
different show, but she didn't even make it to the auditions on American Idol. So we're even thinking about what about the people we don't even see on the
Right.
show
Yeah,
who got
exactly.
turned away. But look at BB Rexa now. Now she is a judge for the comeback stage.
Right.
So
It's all about exposure. Like, again,
it's what you do with it and
It's
how
what
hard
you
you
do
work.
with it.
Exposure. It's about
Yeah.
timing and just trusting and having that confidence in yourself.
yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I guess it's kind of like our predictions too.
Yeah.
There's gonna be
Do you guys have
No,
any
no.
Yeah,
No.
I wanted
We
to
didn't talk
hear
about
you guys'
predictions.
favorites.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead
Yeah.
really quickly. Let's get into predictions. So,
Oh my
Neema,
gosh.
clearly you have a favorite.
Yes, so my favorite
got
is
a
always
favorite.
Team Legend. My favorites, if I had to choose like 4 favorites, it would be Jimmy, it would be Kaitlyn, it would be Andrew, and Rebecca, and
The whole team.
Jackson. Well, that's not even from Team Legend. That's just like across the board.
everyone?
I'm
That's
just
your
picking like
team.
my first 4 to
Yeah.
5 people that I like.
So we're doing favorites or predictions?
Favorite
Predictions. Yeah.
Prediction
Favorite
favorites.
I imagine.
Okay,
Yeah.
prediction favorites. So my favorites were Kaitlyn. I'm sorry, it was Kaitlyn and Olive Blue.
My favorite is
Yeah.
my favorite
I
is
have-
Kaitlyn for
Yeah.
sure.
me too.
I have to.
I like her.
mean, I'm Team Adam, but man, I love both what the energy and just the sound that they both bring. And I guess my prediction is I predict they're gonna go pretty far and they're gonna kill it in these cross.
I think
And they're on Team
Kaitlyn.
Legend.
I know it's not a team. I hate that you have Kaitlyn, but I think she's going to go far. Even if she doesn't win the show, she just has that star power. I think she has the most star power out of everyone on the whole season.
Definitely.
I mean, we have to see them go back to back as it gets closer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like we haven't even talked about Sean, or we haven't even talked about Matthew.
the other
There's
two.
so many. we
yeah.
could
So
go
many
through.
other
There's so
people.
many.
I have
We
to
haven't even talked
see-
about Julian.
we had to wait till
I
they
can't
start
wait to
zeroing
see
it
it.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll narrow it down and we'll get
So
further
many people.
along.
This is exciting.
All right.
Princess,
Well,
what is your prediction?
Judge. I'm
Oh, I like Judge. I want to see
forgot
Judge
about
and
Judge.
Kaitlyn together.
Yikes.
Yeah.
With Betsy?
I'm just gonna. Well, if you weren't there for the qualifiers, like when he
Yeah,
performed, but
okay.
you'll see him.
He's-
Okay.
He's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
don't
really, really
sleep on
good.
But
She said don't sleep
anyway,
on him.
I know he's like. I'll show you after the show. Anyway, that is our show for the night.
Yes.
Ladies, where can we find you on social media?
I'm Lindsay Hoffman, and you can find me at Lindsay B. Hoffman, and our links are also in the caption below.
You can find me, Neema Skye, NeemaSkye, on all social media platforms. And find me out tomorrow at 7 p.m. We're going to be doing the after show for Star.
Hey guys, you can find me on all social media platforms at _Tyra Prude, and you can catch me Thursday on the Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionist after show. Make sure you tune in; it's getting juicy.
Ooh.
And guys, you can find me on Instagram. I'm at Princess Carroll TV, and also on the World of Dance after show. We're on Sunday nights. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.